History remembers that in the sky, two brothers have always stood together. Their names are Castor and Pollux. To the Greeks, they were immortal twins, one mortal, one divine. But in reality, these two brothers are not brothers at all. They are hundreds of trillions of miles apart. Castor is 51 light-years away, Pollux is 34 light-years away. They only appear side by side in our sky. They have no physical connection. This is Gemini, the twins, one of the 12 zodiac signs. But inside this constellation hides secrets that will blow your mind. Gemini contains Castor, a star that looks like one point of light, but is actually a 6-star system. Yes, 6 stars. Some astronomers poetically call this a stellar graveyard because of the complex gravitational interactions, but scientifically, all 6 stars are still alive, fusing hydrogen. Gemini contains Geminga, a neutron star that hid from astronomers for 20 years. They couldn't see it, but it was blasting the galaxy with gamma rays. Gemini contains the Medusa Nebula, the remains of a dead star that looks like snakes twisting in space, and the Eskimo Nebula, a face wrapped in fur, but in reality a star giving its last breath. And Gemini contains the Jellyfish Nebula, a supernova remnant shaped like a sea creature. Today I'll take you on a journey through Gemini, a journey that will show you that the twins are not brothers at all, but a cosmic mystery of life, death, and rebirth. Let's begin. Gemini's story begins with the Greeks. They had 2 twin brothers, Castor and Pollux. Castor was mortal, he could die. Pollux was immortal, a god who would live forever. When Castor died, Pollux begged his father Zeus to let him die too, so he could be with his brother. Zeus placed both of them in the sky, so they would be together for eternity. That's why Gemini's 2 bright stars always appear side by side. In Egypt, these stars were seen as 2 gods. In Babylon, they were the great twins. In Hindu astronomy, they are Mithuna. The Romans kept the names Castor and Pollux. The Arabs called them Al-Jawza, the twins. Every ancient culture saw twins. But today, science tells us a different story. These 2 stars are not physically related. They just happen to line up in our line of sight. So the name Gemini itself is a trick of perspective, but the real tricks are just beginning. And the biggest trickster of all is Castor, 1 light to your eye, but 6 stars through a telescope. Gemini wasn't just Greek. Chinese astronomy connected its stars to yin-yang. The Mayans saw 2 gods. Persian astronomers called it Du-Paikar, 2 bodies. Every culture saw 2, and they saw them together. Science has now shown that they are not together at all. They are separated by vast distances. So Gemini's very identity is a beautiful illusion. But the real shock starts now. The first shock is Castor, 1 light to the eye, 6 stars to the telescope. Castor, Alpha Geminorum, is Gemini's 2nd brightest star. It's 51 light-years away. To the naked eye, it's a single star, but through a telescope, it reveals itself as 6 stars. They are arranged in 3 binary pairs, 3 couples, each orbiting each other. Castor RR and Ab, only 0.05 AU apart, 1/20th the Earth-Sun distance. They orbit every 9.2 days. Castor Ba and Beeb even closer. Their orbit takes just 2.9 days. Castor Ka and CB farther out with an orbit of about 370 days. Among these 6 stars, A and Ab are A-type main sequence stars, hotter and more massive than our Sun. Ba and Bib are also main sequence stars. Ka and CB are smaller red dwarfs. All 6 are still fusing hydrogen, they are alive. When astronomers use the phrase stellar graveyard, It's a poetic metaphor for the complex gravitational chaos of 6 stars pulling on each other. But scientifically, these are living stars, layers of Castor's stars. Core, hydrogen fusion at 15 million Kelvin. Radiative zone, photosphere, about 10,000 Kelvin. Chromosphere, corona emits X-rays. Are there planets around Castor? None confirmed. The gravity of 6 stars would make stable planetary orbits nearly impossible. Castor's twin is Pollux, and Pollux has a planet. But that planet's future is dark. Every star is built in layers. For Castor's A-type stars, the layers are core, hydrogen fusion, 15 million Kelvin. Radiative zone, energy travels outward as photons. Photosphere, the visible surface about 10,000 Kelvin. Chromosphere, a thin layer visible during eclipses. Corona, millions of Kelvin, emitting X-rays. Astronomers have studied Castor for over 200 years, and they still can't perfectly model its future orbits. 6 stars, all pulling on each other, it's a gravitational puzzle. Now let's meet Pollux, an orange giant heading toward its own death. Pollux, Beta Geminorum, is Gemini's brightest star, 34 light-years away. It's a K-type orange giant, cooler than our Sun 4500 K, but 8.8 times larger and 32 times more luminous. Pollux has exhausted the hydrogen in its core. It is now fusing helium, meaning it is in its final evolutionary stage. In 2006, astronomers discovered Pollux b, also called Theseus, orbiting this star. It's a gas giant with 2.3 times Jupiter's mass, orbiting at 1.64 AU, about 1.6 times the Earth-Sun distance. Its year lasts 590 Earth days. What will happen to this planet? Millions of years from now, when Pollux expands into a full-fledged red giant, its outer atmosphere will engulf the planet. The planet will be vaporized. But that's very far in the future. For now, it's stable. Layers of Pollux: core, helium fusion, radiative zone, convective zone, photosphere, 4500 K chromosphere, corona. Pollux's death is coming, but before that, let's look at a star that already died. Its name is Geminga. Pollux is on the red giant branch. Its core hydrogen is gone. Now it's burning helium in a shell. That's why it's swelling up and cooling down. When you look at Pollux with your naked eye, you see an orange star. But what's really happening inside is a slow, invisible change that will take millions of years. Now let's meet Gemini's strangest resident, Geminga. Geminga, in 1972, astronomers detected a powerful source of gamma rays in Gemini. They pointed every telescope at that spot and saw nothing. No star, no nebula, just empty blackness. This mystery lasted for 20 years. Finally, in 1992, astronomers spotted an extremely faint object. They named it Geminga, a mashup of Gemini gamma ray source and the Milanese dialect word Geminga, which means it isn't there. For 2 decades, it wasn't there, at least not to our eyes. Geminga is a neutron star, the crushed core of a massive star that went supernova. It's 800 light-years away. That means the light we see today left that star 800 years ago, around the time the Mongol Empire was expanding. It spins 4.2 times per second. Its diameter is just 12 miles 20 kilometers, but it contains 1.4 times the mass of our Sun. 1 teaspoon of Geminga would weigh 1 billion tons. Its magnetic field is 1 trillion times stronger than Earth's. Geminga is still blasting out gamma rays and X-rays. If it were closer, it would sterilize our planet. But at 800 light-years, we're safe. Layers of Geminga, neutron core, crust, atmosphere, magnetosphere. Geminga is a neutron star, the remnant of an explosion. Gemini holds 2 other stunning remnants, the Medusa Nebula and the Eskimo Nebula. Why was Geminga invisible for so long? Because it's a pulsar, a spinning neutron star that beams radiation like a lighthouse. For 20 years, its beams weren't pointing at Earth. When they finally swept across us, astronomers saw it and realized it's one of the closest neutron stars to us. Around Geminga is a pulsar-wind nebula, the Geminga Nebula, debris from the supernova that happened 300,000 years ago. Now let's enter the Medusa Nebula, where a dead star's corpse looks like a head of snakes. Medusa Nebula, Abell 21, lies 1,200 light-years away. It's a planetary nebula, the expanding gas of a sun-like star that died. It's named Medusa because its wispy glowing tendrils look exactly like the snakes on the Greek monster's head. At its center is a white dwarf with a temperature over 100,000 Kelvin. Its ultraviolet radiation makes the surrounding gas glow. This nebula formed about 10,000 years ago, around the time humans first domesticated dogs. It's 4 light-years across. Light takes 4 years to travel from one edge to the other. Layers of the Medusa Nebula, central white dwarf, inner shell, outer shell, and then there's the Eskimo Nebula, a face wrapped in a fur hood. Eskimo Nebula NGC 2392 is 2,870 light-years away. It's also called the Clownface Nebula. It looks exactly like a face wrapped in a fur-lined parka hood. The inner face is a dense bubble of gas. The outer fur is long, wispy filaments. The central star is ejecting gas at 1 million miles per hour, 1.6 million km/h. Its temperature is over 50,000 Kelvin. It's in the process of becoming a white dwarf. When that process finishes, the nebula will fade away, leaving only a cold, dark corpse. Is this our Sun's future? Yes. In about 5 billion years, our Sun will create a similar planetary nebula. Now let's look at a different kind of stellar remnant, a supernova remnant shaped like a jellyfish. Jellyfish Nebula, IC443, sits in the southern part of Gemini. It's 5,000 light-years away. This is not a planetary nebula. It's a supernova remnant, the expanding debris from a massive star that exploded 30,000 years ago. Unlike Geminga's neutron star, which was born from a similar explosion, this remnant's central neutron star is spinning faster, 7 times per second, and the nebula's shape is completely different. Today, the debris has expanded into a shape that looks exactly like a jellyfish, with long, dangling tentacles. Those tentacles are shockwaves slamming into nearby gas clouds. Nearic 443 is a neutron star, catalogued as Cu J061705 but 3 + 222127, spinning 7 times per second. That's faster than Geminga's 4.2 spins per second, showing how different neutron stars can be. All around it are molecular clouds still glowing from the heat of the ancient explosion. Could this supernova have harmed Earth? No, it's 5,000 light-years away. We're safe. Layers of IC443, central neutron star, inner shock front, outer shell, molecular clouds. From nebulae, let's move to exoplanets. Gemini has several, but none are habitable. Gemini has over 15 confirmed exoplanets, a few interesting ones. HD 50554b, a gas giant with 1 second Jupiter masses, orbit 2.5 AU, year 4.9 Earth years, no life gas giant. HD 63433b, CD, 3 planets around a Sun-like star 73 light-years away. B and C are sub-Neptunes. D is a super-Earth. But D's temperature is over 1000 Kelvin, hot enough to melt iron. No life. The honest truth, no confirmed habitable zone planet has been found in Gemini. No Earth 2.0. Not yet. Now let's talk about meteor showers. Gemini has one of the most reliable showers in the sky. The Geminids meteor shower radiates from Gemini. It occurs every December 4/7, peaking around December 13-14. The zenithal hourly rate is 2160 meteors per hour, one of the most reliable showers of the year. The parent body is asteroid 3200 Phaethon, a rock comet that heats up and sheds dust. Geminid meteors are slower than many showers, about 35 km slashes, and often appear yellow or white. Can you see the Geminids? Yes, on a clear December night, away from city lights, you can see dozens of meteors per hour. Another shower, the daytime Ariatids, happens during the day, so you need a radio to detect it. The daytime Ariatids occur in May-June, but they happen during the day, so you can't see them with your eyes. Astronomers detect them using radio antennas. When meteors burn up high in the atmosphere, they briefly reflect radio waves. Listen with the right equipment, and you'll hear them as short static bursts. The parent body is uncertain, possibly asteroid 1566 Icarus or comet 96P/Machholz. This shower is invisible to the naked eye, but radio can hear it. Finally, let's ask the big question. Will any star in Gemini ever become the North Star? Astrology says the Sun is in Gemini from May 21 to June 20. But astronomy, using actual star positions, says something different. Because of precession, the Sun is in Gemini from June 20 to July 20 today. That's about a month shift. Where in Gemini does the Sun sit? Near Castor and Pollux. But Gemini's stars are bright. Castor and Pollux can sometimes be seen even in the Sun's glare during occultations. Will any star in Gemini ever become the North Star? No. Gemini is near the celestial equator, far from the North Celestial Pole's path, which goes through Cepheus, Cygnus, Lyra, Hercules, and Draco. So, after all this, what have we learned? Today, we explored Gemini like never before. History, from Greek twins to Egyptian gods, and the truth that Castor and Pollux are not physically related. Castor, 1 light to the eye, 6 stars in reality, all alive, but poetically called a stellar graveyard because of their complex gravitational dance. Pollux, an orange giant fusing helium with a gas giant planet that will be engulfed millions of years from now. Geminga, a neutron star that hid for 20 years, 800 light years away, meaning its light left 800 years ago. Medusa Nebula, a planetary nebula shaped like a head of snakes. Eskimo Nebula, a planetary nebula that looks like a face in a fur hood. Jellyfish Nebula 443, a supernova remnant shaped like a jellyfish with a faster spinning neutron star. Exoplanets, over 15 confirmed, but no habitable zone planets yet. Meteor showers, the Geminids, 1160 per hour, and the daytime Arietids detectable by Braille. Precession's trick when the Sun actually enters Gemini. Gemini is not just a pair of twins. It's a cosmic stage where stars form complex families, neutron stars race through space, and nebulae become works of art. So here's my final question. Will you look for Gemini in the night sky? If you do, remember, the light from Castor left 51 years ago. The light from Pollux left 34 years ago. The light from Geminga left 800 years ago. The light from the Medusa Nebula left 1500 years ago. The light from IC 443 left 5000 years ago. And the light from the Geminid meteors just a few seconds ago. You're looking at the past, but in that past lies our future. Thank you.